So I'm totally trying different today. There's like a new Facebook Live feature. So I'm hoping that it's working. It says it's working, so we will see. Oh, I think it's just popped on then. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me. And so I'm just trying out the new Facebook Live. And as you can tell, it's a new experience. So have you tried it yet? Love to hear your thoughts. There is a lot of different features on it, which is awesome. So I'm going to just, hope that it all works and we can test it, I guess, for next time. So I don't actually think I can see your comments today until I work out how to do it. If you've used it before, please feel free to let me know how to do the comments. Awesome. Well, so today I really wanted to chat about money mindset. Something I've been doing a shitload of personal development lately. And some of the things that have been coming up is around my mindset and particularly around my relationship with money. And I've noticed that in the past, it has actually been not so great. And I'm obviously doing some work around that now to change it. So I'm going to tell you a few things that I was thinking. I was thinking that I didn't deserve money. I was thinking that if I did earn a certain amount of money, that I wouldn't know how to handle it. And I was also thinking that I had to work really, really hard in a really, really high stressful job to earn the money that I want to. I've obviously since found out that that's bullshit. And in part of the work that I've been doing around this, I have also been realizing that this is something that most of us have deep down inside of us. So there is a lot of things that we pick up when we're kids and in our life, in our families, generations, and things like that. And it is something, it's a story. It's another one of those stories that we've talked about before. We pick up these stories about why we think we don't deserve it or why we think it's so hard to come by or to get. And then that story sticks in our head, and then we believe that that's our story. So for me, my mum always worked, lots of jobs to help us get through. And I could see her working herself to the bone to try and make ends meet. So for me, I've always thought that I had to work just to get ahead, just to make ends meet. So you see the words I was using, just to make ends meet. So it's a really important thing to recognize what your story is and what you're telling yourself. Maybe your story is that it's not possible for you to earn that money because no one in your family's earned that money before. There's so many different stories. So I want you to think about that today and think about what the money story is that you're holding on to. Is it that you think you have to work your bum off and you have to stay in this corporate job or this 9-to-5 job to get the money that you want? Or is there just that value in you that thinks that you can't ever get there? So really work on that. Have a think about what it is. And I highly encourage you to write this down. I was thinking this a few weeks ago, but it wasn't until I wrote it down that I actually felt the power in it. And I'm going to tell you a little secret about having your own business and being an entrepreneur and just being a bloody human is that you need to work on these things in your life if you are going to get to the desired result that you want. So if you want to be the person who earns the amount of money that you desire so that you can make the impact on the world that you desire. That was my alarm going off saying I am worth everything I desire in my life. There you go. We can set alarms like I do. But if they're the things that you want in your life, you can get them. You can get anything that you desire in your life. But unless you're working on the mindset part to break through any of those, subconscious beliefs, then you actually aren't going to be able to get there, because there's always going to be something holding you back. To share with you a little story about myself, I have over the years, over probably the last 6 or 7 years, started a few different businesses. And I get to a point where I am being successful, earning a great amount of money. But then when I hit my zone, which is like the uncomfortable zone, then I start going the other way. So it's like that book, The Big Leap, where they talk about being in the fish tank and you get to the glass lid on the fish tank and you're like, I don't know how to get past that lid. This is my height, never been past it before, too scared to break through it, so I'll just go down to the bottom. And if you've ever heard of someone who wins millions of dollars on the lotto and they don't know how to handle it and they spend it all or it ruins their life, it's because they have a story or a belief that they can't handle the money, they don't deserve it, they, don't know how to manage it, so they get rid of it, however that ends up being. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's really bad stories that we hear around that. So if you want these things in your life, you have to be prepared to get uncomfortable in that uncomfortable zone, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's where the magic's going to happen. So have a think about what it is that your story is. What's your money story? And really sort of sit down and work on that. Have a think about maybe some things that your parents may have said when you were little. And I'm really conscious about this now as well. Were you told that you couldn't afford things? Were you told that, you couldn't go on camps because it was too expensive, or, couldn't go to events because of different things? What was the things that you were hearing around money when you were a kid? And often it's those things that we hear, particularly in those ages between sort of 1 to 7, that's when our minds are developing. And we do take on a lot of stuff from then. I can tell you some things that I've taken on from that part of my life that I'm really working through right now. But have a think about what those conversations were. And you probably will be surprised to find that there is so much alignment with what we were told or heard and how it's acting out in our life now. But I'm here to tell you that you have the power to fix that. You don't have to keep that old story, and you have the ability to work through it to get those things that you desire. So if you want to be earning X amount of dollars and you want to be, creating this big impact and you need the money to create that impact, then work on this story, work on what it is. Fix those negative thoughts and start changing the way that you're thinking about them. So write down what they might be and then put a positive twist on it. Start thinking about what the positive is from that and start rewriting the story. I used to think, oh my God, we never had money because of what I had heard. But then when I thought about it, we always had clothes. We always had food, always had a roof over our head. We always played multiple sports and, did get to go away on events and stuff. So we had money to live an amazing life. So if you can reframe your mind and those beliefs, you might be surprised at, what you can come up with. And I really want you to think about what you have been given in your life so far. And I mean like gifts, money you've earned, money you've received, things you've received maybe for free or been given. Have a think about all the amazing things you have in your life now and really start giving gratitude for those things, because that is all money. It's all come from money. It's all an amazing, gift from this beautiful circulation of money. And the one thing that I'm learning is the relationship you have with money is so important. And I heard this amazing Rebecca Femia. I just had a mind blank. There's an amazing lady in our community anyway, Rebecca Femia. And she was saying the other day about, think of your money as that you're in a relationship with it. So talk to it like, you're in love with it, and treat it like you're in love with it. So if you think about reframing your mind, instead of when you get a bill, swearing at it and being upset because you're having to let the money go, really bless it and thank it for the thing that you're receiving for the money. So if it's electricity, then, be grateful that you've got electricity on, for the things that you need electricity for. And really just start changing that relationship that you're having with the money. Be grateful for what it's being used for, and also grateful when you're receiving it. These may seem like very foreign things for you right now, but trust me, once I started doing the work on this, amazing things have started to happen. And I've realized that it's actually allowed me to start taking the power back with my own money story and what I want to give to the world. And now I know that I have the control to be able to give that and to receive it. So I definitely suggest that you have a really good think about what your money story is and write it down, try to reframe it. And if it makes you feel better, any of those negative things that you have said about your partner, which is money, just write them down and burn them. This is my favorite thing to do right now. Obviously in a safe space, don't hurt anyone, or rip it up into tiny pieces. But whatever that is that's coming up for you, I want you to release it and let it go and start telling yourself some better stories. You know how to handle money. You deserve any kind of money or gifts in the world because everyone does. It's our right. You deserve to live the life that you want to live. So change that story, get in love with your money, and take control back. All right. Well, if you are watching the replay, please feel free to write replay down the bottom in the comments so I can see. I can't quite see the comments today on here because I'm just testing out this new live, but I would really love to hear, what your money story is if you want to share it. And if it's something that you've been working on and you've actually come to some great realizations, please share it, because I'm finding also that sharing our stories can really be so powerful for the other people who are listening or currently going through it that may not have realized that that was one of their stories. So feel free to share, and hopefully we can work on these together. So I love you guys lots. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment in the box, and I look forward to chatting to you all again soon. Bye.